So we picked the M2 up last week. It looks good.
It looks great, yeah.
But does it drive well?
Well, it's supposed to. Should we find out?
Why not? So in theory, is this the first rear-wheel drive car we've had on the channel?
Well, the S15 is obviously the, you know...
we'll forget that. So I would go with road car, the first rear-wheel drive road car we've had.
Yeah.
And we're used to Quattro and other types of the Nissan four-wheel drive system, which is really good.
Yeah.
The Quattro, amazing. Are we going to struggle with this car?
I know I'm going to struggle with it because I get frustrated when my car just doesn't go fast. Loads of turbo lag, and then it eventually gets there, but third just sort of seems... Second pole's all right, but then third, I don't know.
To me, it just feels like it's restricted really badly.
You change into third and it's just sort of like, it doesn't continue pulling as it did do in second, which I know it can't do because as you go higher up the, you know, power's limited in it, but
yeah,
even still, it's nowhere near the pull in second, not just like a little bit less. It just dies to death, really.
So we've both come to the conclusion that it needs at least 100 horses more.
Definitely.
Surely.
Yeah.
So we're going to get it on the dyno at Awesome GTI at some point, and we'll check it out. But I reckon after now, if it's got more than 410, I'll be very surprised. So these cars, typically, I think they sit quite high on the back.
They do.
But is it actually going to handle that bad because it sits high?
I don't think so.
Does it need to be lowered?
Probably not, but it's a cosmetic thing. Everyone knows that majority of cars look better when they're lowered, so we need to do it.
We did the Draggy last week. It wasn't that impressive, really, not to 60,
not really, mate. No, but it's rear-wheel drive, and everyone knows they're not built to be trying to keep up with the likes of my RS3, are they?
But, well, no, but do you think it needs more power? We think it's got 410. Is that enough?
I would usually say, yeah, it does. But it spins up the wheels with the power it's got. So, like, why bother?
Is that enough power, do you think? No?
No, but you can still, it's weird because you can feel it fighting third grip.
Yeah.
Still. And there's decent tyres on it, it's warm.
But it just doesn't feel anywhere close. Your RS3 is 470.
It is now, yeah.
Your RS3 feels way quicker than this.
But these are supposed to dyno at more than 410 horsepower, like 420, 430,
yeah.
something like that.
Supposedly. It definitely needs more power, definitely.
That was foot to the floor in third, and you should get a real nice pull. But second is decent, but after that it seems to just sort of tail right off. One thing that I am impressed with initially is the steering. The steering compared to my RS3 is miles better. I've been daily in this for quite a while now, right? If there was one thing, I've been looking at it like a United team, Liverpool team. Who would you take from Liverpool? I'm a United fan, right? And it's the same thing with my car, with the RS3 and this. The only thing I would take is the steering. That's it. I wouldn't take the engine. I wouldn't take these seats. These seats are stupid. The fucking adjustment is ridiculous. I mean, if you want to go back a little bit, you end up fucking doing that. And that, you know, it's just nobody's properly thought of it, apart from somebody who's gone, right, well, once you're in your seating position, it drives well.
As the highway code probably states, you should sort your seat out before you start off.
Yeah, you should, but then how many people, where am I going here? How many people, you know, have little adjustments, you know, little here and there, and what was wrong with just having a little winder thing on the side of your chair?
That is so precise. And you know the back end's going to go a little bit, but it sort of like follows you around. You do get a little bit of understeer out of it, I must admit. Which is surprising really, because I thought this would be all just the back end trying to overtake you. Rear wheel drive cars, you need to be able to feel what the back end's doing. This, you can feel it.
Oh, you can definitely feel it, but it's, I mean, you're sat pretty close to the back wheels as well, or you are sat quite far back in this.
Yeah.
And you definitely can feel the back end going.
I think as far as balance goes, BMW have got this perfect. So with it being rear wheel drive, the tyres, surely they're everything on a car, otherwise you're going to be down into that lake, aren't you?
What are we on here? Super Sports.
Super Sports, yeah.
They're decent. Pilot Super Sports are decent, aren't they?
Are they not as good as the 4S, surely?
I've no idea.
Don't you think the tyres are dead noisy?
I've not really noticed, to be honest with you, mate. I spend most of my time trying to just keep it in a straight line.
But from the tyres going to the suspension, you know, how is it handling on these roads? Does it fill you with confidence?
No, it doesn't. But then that's because no rear-wheel drive car fills me with any confidence.
getting sort of like this feedback from you that you're not really into this car yet, are you?
No, it's point.
Do you need more time in it?
For me,
Or have you had
right,
enough
I don't
time
give a
in it?
shit what Chris Harris says or anyone else or Jeremy Clarkson. Everyone knows he's full of shit anyway, even though I like him. But on a track, they always test these cars on a track. They make sense. On roads like this, fucking pointless. Absolutely pointless.
So with the suspension sitting up so high,
Yeah.
it should be a comfortable drive.
I think it rides quite well, to be honest with you.
I do.
But
I
one
agree
thing
with
we
you.
are going to be doing
Yeah.
is ruining it when we lower it.
You modify cars, you ruin them.
Yeah, we all know that. The ride is decent.
But now I'm feeling like a bit uncomfortable on this road. It's not handling this little piss-ass road very well, is it?
There's a lot of bumps and it's quite firm, but it is forgiving. But we're about to ruin that anyway with the set of lowering springs, so it doesn't really matter what we think of it
I did actually think this car was comfortable.
until you got it on roads like this.
But this is...
Well, you drove it motorways all the way home, didn't you?
Yeah, I did M6.
So yeah, it is it is firm, but it's alright. Like,
Is it firm but fair?
Firm but forgiving, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've certainly driven a lot worse. I mean, the thing is, for me, and firm suspension, the benchmark is that Focus RS, and nothing I will ever drive, I don't think, will be as hard as that.
No, oh, that was rock hard, that car. If you've enjoyed the video up to now, hit subscribe.
Please.
That does help us out, please.
That helps us out massively, yeah, because we know at least half of you who are watching this aren't subscribed.
Yeah.
I just also wanted, so that's two upright,
Yeah.
and that's fucking way too far back. There's one in the middle, but it keeps.
Ready?
BMW, these chairs are shit.
So surely this is a good test of the suspension. And I think that understeered then. Don't you think?
We got it to understeer before.
Yeah.
The race chip one. Everybody says that they don't understeer. Back
Tell you
end
what though, the
stepping right out.
suspension. The suspension is wobbly.
Right.
That is it took that bump pretty well though, don't you think?
Yeah, man. This is why I don't want to do these videos.
Why?
Because we're going to end up fucking in a hedge or something.
We're not going in a hedge. Does it look like we're going to go in a hedge?
Well, it feels it.
That Golf's going faster than us.
It is now.
Surely the biggest question we're going to ask ourselves today is noise. Engine noise, noise from the exhaust. Is it enough?
Nowhere near.
No?
No, but I mean, everyone knows that the 5-pot, and I know I'm gonna bang on about it, but the 5-pot is one of the best sounding engines that you can get. One of. That,
Surely this straight six
Nah,
should be
mate.
a better sounding. It's got an
No.
extra cylinder.
sounds like an airdryer.
So what you're trying to say is we're probably going to need to modify the air intake to make
Yeah.
it sound a little bit better.
Yeah, bit more
And-
sucky.
And the exhaust, we're going to have to change it surely because that sounds like a little tin pot, doesn't it really?
Yeah, because surely like a Hoover sounds better than a hairdryer does. So if we can have this sounding like a Dyson or
Especially
something
the
instead.
Dysons, the V
V10.
something, 10,
Yeah, 10 cylinders.
There you go.
That's what we need.
Dyson, if you want to get on for
Yeah.
some integrations adverts,
Yeah.
give us a shout.
There you go.
The main thing for me about a car is it's how it sounds. Not so much how it makes you feel driving it, but it's the sound of the car.
Shall we have a listen?
Has this got any? Well, windows are open, bit of wind noise, we'll have to apologise for that, but it's still seriously lacking.
Very muted, isn't it?
It definitely needs an exhaust, surely definitely needs an exhaust.
Surely, definitely.
Definitely maybe needs an exhaust.
I think it does. And somebody mentioned about the equal length thing. That was news to me. So they were saying that one side of the downpipe is longer than the other one. So I don't know if the other one goes into the one or something, and that mutes a lot of the noise. So they say get an equal length downpipe, and that straight away makes it a big difference to the noise, which should be mint. Because at the minute,
Do you know what amazes me though with manufacturers? There's obviously a reason for them doing it.
yeah,
It's like they're going out of the way to make a competition car. I mean, the name says it all, M2 competition. Sound boring.
they're weaning us off good sounding cars, and then
So when the electrics come in, it's not going straight from a V8, dirty V8, to a Tesla.
yeah, because if you went from my RS4 to a Tesla,
It's not too bad, is it?
you'd be struggling. You'd be struggling because it makes an absolutely amazing noise, that thing. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's been decatted and all that kind of stuff. But
When you put it through its paces a little bit, it does give you a bit out of the car. It does tend to sort of like wake up a little bit, but I think you've really got to wring its neck. You can't just like the GTR, you'll be driving down the road and you can just tootle in it and you'll get the noise out of the exhaust and stuff.
It's like bassy. This is like I don't know how to
it just sounds like you shouldn't be shifting down into second. It just sounds like you.
Usually the exhaust note drowns out the sound of the engine. In this, you can only hear engine. You can't hear anything from the exhaust whatsoever.
So do you actually think this car is easy to control with it being rear wheel drive?
So where I live, there's like you sort of turn off my road onto a bit of a dual carriageway. It's not really, it's a little bit of one, but the road's dead wide, and you then think, right, here's a little bit of an opportunity to get it sideways. It's dead easy to control, but I was happy doing it there because if I cocked it up, which, you know, there was every chance that I could have done.
You've got a bit of run off.
Well, there was plenty of room because it's 2 lanes and there was nothing coming either way.
So that's it. That's our day out in the, we're not going to tell you where, try and guess. There's a sheep there, there's a fisherman there, and there's a lake. Give your guesses, comment, where do you think we are?
That's not narrowed it down much though.
Well, yeah, it's not Warrington, is it? Let's put it that way. So that's our sort of like first drive of the car. I think, apart from the noise out of the engine and the exhaust, I love it. I think out of the box, it's a well-balanced car. You can have some fun in it. I thought I'd prefer it in a manual gearbox, but I think the DCT is a good gearbox for it. It does correct it if it's going sideways and stuff like that. You feel confident in it. It's a comfortable drive. It ticks a lot of boxes. From a daily driver's point of view, I prefer my RS3. Don't really matter what my opinion is. I think it's shite. Well, I wanted it, and you guys wanted it. Yeah. But anyway, thanks for watching. Like I said before, hit a subscribe if you didn't already do so. Maybe like it if you like the video. If you're still watching now, surely they like the video, surely. I mean, yeah. You've got to do, haven't you? Why would you be watching for like... It's probably for the car, however long this is, 15, 20 minutes. Why would you watch that long? No idea. And you're still watching us waffling on, so you really must like the video. We're just going to carry on waffling on. Is this just to get it over the 20-minute mark threshold? Maybe 10 minutes. Who knows how long it is? Definitely needs to be over 20. But yeah, we love it here. I mean, I think we might come back next week and do some fishing. Is this when you're going to put the thumbnails over the top and drown us out? Surely. You know, so like the newsreaders at the end when you can't hear what they're saying. Yeah. Sound. See you later.